Raquel and
Hi
Kayla,
guys,
they are
Dylan
team
more
number
Little
2.
Nightmares
Okay,
2. I listen to the podcast, but
they
whatever.
are
Continue on.
pretty happy. Second place finish in a row for Raquel and Kayla.
I mean, good for
Ah,
them.
fuck, I'm an idiot.
We mentioned this before, right? This is like the clip that they cut to ominously of like, hey, we're getting better. This could mean something as short-sighted as they come in first next leg. Could possibly mean they come in first 4 weeks from now. But still, Raquel and Kayla, I mean, again, I'll say that it's been fairly clear since the flip that there is a top echelon of teams. And though Raquel and Kayla, I think, are number 3 in the power rankings right now, it's still a good spot. You know, that's guaranteed final leg if everything plays out right.
Yep, and we did have a little bit, I don't know if this is any foreshadowing, that Penn and Kim said, we want to go to the final 3 with Raquel and Kayla, but then we're going to beat them.
Yeah, this could be one of those meat shield situations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure, because unlike last season, right, which was much more of a hand-picked final 3 in a manner of speaking, due to the strategic devices that were implemented, you can't really pick your partners on the Amazing Race. I mean, you quite literally can, but like outside of your initial partners. So, I mean, I do feel like one of the things that is missing from this season of the race are like the interpersonal dynamics. I feel like we got that a bit last week with how everybody felt about Ryan and Dusty, but this came out of nowhere for me. I didn't even think that like Kim and Penn and Raquel and Kayla even spoke to each other on the race, let alone now having these conversations of, oh, we want to run in the final 3 together.
Well, this is different from last season, too, because there are 3 teams that are clearly a little bit better suited for the race than the teams behind them. And not that the other teams don't have really their own strengths and weaknesses, but it sure seems like you don't need a Mine 5 in a situation like this race. Like, you're going to go to the final 3 with them anyway, and it's maybe it behooves you to pretend that that's how you wanted it the whole way.
That's interesting. I mean, I know that you can't ask Amazing Race teams this just because of their general niceties and because things are out of their control, but I do wonder, if you ask, like, a Kim and Penn, who would you have wanted to go to the final 3 with? Would it be the same thing, or would it be like, oh, Akbar and Sherry and Arun and Natalia? You know, this idea of, like, would you rather win with arguably worse competition or be in a more even squad of people whose company you enjoy?
Would you rather win and be with teams that are not loved, or lose and be with teams that you do love?
Or do you like the relationship with your teams that you have right now?
Or would you rather eat cheese covered in mosquitoes?
Or do you enjoy the relationship with your cheese mosquitoes that at this moment?
Okay. All right. So we get to Ryan and Dusty. They check in. They are team number 3. It's all going to come down to Lala and Lulu versus Arun and Natalia. They both get to the nets. Lala and Natalia work on the nets. We hear that Lulu and Lala's dad actually worked on the ocean, Jess. So is this a 5-hole?
It feels like they should have been testing all of them like that.
Okay. Eventually, they both are going to get it. It's going to come down to a race to the mat. So Lulu and Lala, they stop and get directions. Arun and Natalia are left to their own defenses.
Yeah,
this could have been a good thing or a bad thing.
That's the thing, is like, that's always the gamble in the Amazing Race, right? Especially if you're in a race for last place, is do you stop and make sure that you know the directions, costing you precious time, or do you run off, possibly risking the fact that you get lost, but also not wasting any time by asking for directions here? But it ends up working out for Lulu and Lala. We should also note here that I believe Arun and Natalia beat Lulu and Lala to the nets, but Lala passes Natalia on the roadblock. Natalia has a tough time with the nets, and so that's one of the few reasons, I think, why Arun and Natalia end up in last place.
Yeah, they seemed like it was a very close finish, where Lulu and Lala are still at the mat when Arun and Natalia come up.
You never know, though. I mean, Jess, you might clarify this. I feel like especially nowadays, they probably keep them on the mat for like, I don't know, 15, maybe 20 minutes before the next team arrives, because I think Phil wants to also sort of get the other team's reaction to that team checking in.
Yeah, I mean, they used to have it like all the teams were kind of hanging out there. Like you've seen legs where a beloved team comes in last, and then all the teams come out and like give them hugs and say goodbye to them. So I think they're not far away. It's like, okay, go over to craft services, have a drink, and we'll call you when the other team's coming so that we can have this moment. You could easily manufacture that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So Phil talks to Arun and Natalia about how they are not been eliminated. They get so many chances. They will be back once again for another leg as the final 5.
An interesting note to end the episode on is we get like a little bit of a conflict going on here between Arun and Natalia, right? Like Arun takes this very cautious idea of like, we've got so many chances, let's not pass it up, and Natalia's like, no, but we come into every leg like pumped, ready to go, like I know we can do this. And so I think Natalia's coming in, I think, with a much more like big optimistic attitude of like, we bring it every leg.
Cool. Love it. I just want to look up how I'm even supposed to do this, because I don't really get it, you know. Fuck. I notice how YouTube's doing that more often now, so having unskippable ads. Let's see, where are we at? Okay, we're actually further than I thought we were. I guess we only have like an hour and 15 minutes left. Oh, there's like more things. Okay, let's just try that out then. Yeah, so this is like 2 hours and 15 minutes into this 3.5 hour playthrough. So, we're actually much further than I thought we were. What? Uploaded the last episode, just cancel out. Oh. Fuck. Oh, fuck. Cool. That's lovely.
We're gonna
to succeed in this, but Arun's like, I mean, listen, I've seen this happen a few times before on these raids. I think we need to be cautious about things.
Yeah. I think they probably might need an adjustment.
They need to reflect and examine.
Yeah. I mean, like, this is the third time. This 7 legs, right?
Bill is
What's that one
disappointed.
maybe so much more?
Yeah, I mean, the greeter didn't have to go home this time, luckily. The greeter was... That's progress, right?
Yes.
Maybe the dog
Yeah.
left in the leg where I think it was with Michael and Mo. Or no, it was when Arun and Natalia ended up finishing in last time.
Yes.
Maybe this time there was a dog attracted to the cheese and to the infusions of it all that it would never leave. It actually just stuck around the entire time.
Yeah, wanted to sniff Dusty.
Sniff his butt.
Yeah, that's where they like to do it.
What?
That's for sure.
That is a thing they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the
other
last
one
time
says
that they
needing
checked
so
in
much
at the mat, Phil had to say.
Natalia, you're a little late.
Damn.
In fact, so late that our greeter had to go.
Yeah. So the greeter actually got to stay this time. All right.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe the pit stop was at Stefan's house, so that way he didn't have an excuse to go home, right? It's like, no, it's happening in your backyard. This is the house party, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. Okay, and that's Corsica.
Yep.
Yeah.
Certainly is.
Okay. So did we get the departure times? Is it the same groupings as this episode, where it's going to be Penn and Kim and Raquel and Kayla are in the first group, and the other 3 are in the back?
Looks like it.
Sounds like it. Okay.
I would imagine so, yeah, because otherwise Bill would have made a distinction of it, right? So I'd imagine the same thing now. It's going to be a little different because we are flying to another country, so at least in this case, it's going to be not necessarily like, hey, keep going and stay
Excuse me?
together. We are at least in a different setting, so hopefully this means things will get shaken up a bit more.
Okay, let me give the Amazing Race a pitch for the Amazing Race charter, okay? We are going to modify the plane a little bit, okay? First team to arrive, you are sitting in first class, okay?
Oh, I'm
You
in
have
that.
seats, they recline, maybe it's the seats where they have, you could lay down, sleep on the plane, boom. Second to arrive, you are in business class, okay? Okay, still, it's pretty good, pretty swanky, not as good, you can still, maybe the seats don't go all the way back, okay. Third group, you're in coach, okay? You are sort of like, in with all the normies on the plane, and then the last team to arrive, no speed bump, but you are sort of like last row of the plane, back by the bathroom. Every time somebody goes in and out of the bathroom, they're bumping into you. You gotta sit next to the bathroom the whole flight. It's not great.
I'll
What the
one
fuck?
up that.
How am I supposed to
Last
do
place
that?
has to stay with the pets in the cargo hold.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be no problem for Dusty.
It's true.
Dusty's already there.
He's already there. Ryan
It is
checks him
great.
in, yeah. But
What?
for the other teams, yeah, that'd be,
How are they right
look,
there?
I think that
I
maybe
don't
we've been
get it. It
doing
just
some
feels like
stuff with the
sometimes the
plane.
character moves slower than other times. For
Yeah,
no
like that, or
fucking
even
reason.
just being close to the front, because like for years, people would say, try to get the seats as close to the front as possible so that you can get off the plane first.
Yeah, but I think you're traveling with the whole crew here, and I
Yeah.
think you're waiting for like the production equipment to come through and everything like that. So,
Right, so the first place team is going to do the thing where, like, as soon as the plane touches down, right, they're going to stand up even though they have nowhere to go, and they're just going to be chomping at the bit. So maybe just to reduce that anxiety.
yeah, it's actually an interesting question because I feel like that in the Amazing Race you assume that there are other
yeah,
groups
that
that
was my
have
fault,
gone
yeah.
ahead. Do you think that the whole entire production traveled together from one spot to the next?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, by whole production, like, they have a lot of field teams out there, so I would imagine that, like, those teams are certainly staying in their specific countries, but otherwise, yeah, I would imagine,
What?
like,
Again, look there.
Bill,
Just
Perk
stop
Terminal
moving for
Leads,
something.
the general camera crews and sound people as well are probably all getting on that plane together. I mean, they rented a 757, they better fill that up if they want to, make their money back.
Okay. All right. Next time, do we know where we're headed?
Greece!
Okay.
They go together to Greece.
Okay. All right. We're going to Greece, and we get teased that Raquel is
go.
going to
What
have
the
some
fuck?
problems putting together some sort of Greek food.
Yeah, it looks looks like Dolmades. They're the grape, stuffed grape leaves.
Yeah, the grape leaves. Something wrapped in grape leaves.
Yeah, and it seems like that we have, maybe, is this Amazing Race history? Looks like that Lulu and Lala are going to go check in at the mat before they have completed their tasks.
No,
It's not history. It's happened before at least twice.
Okay.
Yeah, we've seen teams accidentally stumble upon the pit stop and realize that they missed the clue to go to the pit stop. We saw the case with Rachel and Dave from season 20, right, where they even got to the finish line and Phil was like, turn around and actually do the roadblock. So yeah, we certainly have seen it a couple of times over the course of the race, but not recently.
Not recently. Okay, so Lulu and Lala are about to join a very exclusive club next time on The Amazing Race. Anything else Amazing Race related to talk about this week?
There's really not a lot of Amazing Race stuff to talk about in general this week, Rob.
Mike, do we know how many weeks are left?
Yeah, so I believe we have 11 legs left, so I think this
11 legs left?
What? This isn't Australia, Mike.
We're bringing everyone back. Michael and Mo are coming back.
Yeah, are you counting the legs of the people that are on the show? Is that where you're going to let the legs from?
Yeah, only 11 legs will be left of the race. No, so sorry. We have 11 legs total, so this was just leg 7. So Wednesday the 16th should be the first leg in Greece, which I'm assuming is going to be an elimination. So that takes us down to 4 teams. I'm assuming then we're going to have an episode on Wednesday the 23rd, which is going to be still in Greece. That is going to be our final 4, and I think that's going to be a non-elimination, because then March 2nd, the week after, is going to be, I'm assuming, a 2-hour finale where we're going to get our last 2 legs of the penultimate leg in Lisbon, Portugal, which is going to eliminate the 4th place team, and then, of course, the final leg back in the United States. So, yeah, I believe, what's that count, 3 weeks left of The Amazing Race?
Yeah. Okay, so you're expecting a 2-hour finale on March 2nd.
Yeah, because, I mean, they have 11 legs to fill. They could, rejigger things where maybe they do a non-elimination leg in the penultimate leg, but it's been a very long time since we've had that. Not since the days of these surprise Final 4 in Amazing Race 25 and 26 have we had that. So I can imagine they'd like to eliminate a team right before the finish line here.
Okay. All right, so yeah, we're closing in. I feel like that nobody's more tapped into CBS reality than Mike Bloom.
I mean, it really is like in like a lion, the month of March. So it's all really coming together. Like, we are in the middle of this superstorm at the moment, and I'm feeling a little windblown but happy at the same time. I'm trying to murk it as best as I can.
Okay, you are murking it, dude. So have no fear. Okay.
Thanks, dude.
Jess, anything fun coming up for you?
Well, this week, ages and ages ago, I recorded a podcast with the great Mario Lanza for his Staff Picks podcast, and he finally was able to drop that this week. And so
what film did you discuss?
We discussed the film, the 1999 film Ed TV.
Yes.
Matthew McConaughey. And it was really, so much of that movie predicted what reality TV became, and so much of it was wrong. So we had a really good time talking about, like, what is something that they do that's completely radical in that movie that we don't think twice about anymore, and what is, what did they get wildly wrong about it? And it was really, I haven't seen that movie, but it's pretty much since it came out, but I remember loving it when it came out, and it mostly holds up.
Okay.
So you can find that on his Staff Picks podcast, and I think you just search the Apple Store or the podcatcher of your choice, and it will be there.
All right. Mike, what's coming up for you?
Oh, boy. All right, well, let's appeal to, like, the main to-do, right? Yesterday, about 24 hours ago, I Want to Be Sedated in Survivor content. Yes, that was a shoehorned in Ramones reference. But the cast of Survivor 42 dropped 1 month prior to the premiere. Rob, you and I got together to do like quick 1 hour assessment about the cast, as well as talk about our own predictions as to like how much is going to carry over from season 41 to season 42. And then this morning, you and I got together for our first of 3 cast assessments in podcast form. I am doing interviews daily with the cast members of Survivor 42. Actually, at the time we are recording this, 2 are already out at Parade.com. One with Chanel Howell, who is an executive recruiter, and one with post-show recaps Fred Daniel Strunk, who is a law clerk. So those are coming out 2 every day for the next 9 days. So if you're into Survivor, you want to learn a lot about these contestants, these are the places to go, on top of course, the coverage I'm doing of Celebrity Big Brother and all the stuff going on post-show recaps. Probably most prominently, the Book of Boba Fett had its big finale yesterday, and people had a lot of thoughts, and so it was myself, our Philly, and LaTanya Starks made her return to talk all things Star Wars, which really is sort of like the subtitle for the show proper. So many things happening.
The Book of Boba Fett, all things Star Wars. Yeah, the catch-all for the Star Wars story of the week.
Yeah, like we sewed all the holes in the net, and now we're gonna catch some Star Wars fish.
What you didn't know is that the Book of Boba Fett was an anthology.
Exactly. That it was like, oh, I didn't realize this character was gonna have a chapter in this.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Okay.
I'm doing.
All right. Well, wait. It's almost 3 o'clock. I've podcasted with Mike Bloom about 4 hours so far today. What a wonderful Thursday this has been.
What a life we lead on the RAJB podcast.
For sure.
Oh.
Okay, only the second of 4 podcasts for me today. I have the slop coming up. I'll be talking to lots of different subjects, too. I will be talking about all things sloppy from the world of Celebrity Big Brother. We're going to be live with that for the patrons of Rob's podcast today. I can tell you what time it's going to be, but it'll already be over by the time that you are going to be listening to this podcast. But if you want to catch the replay, head on over to robinswebsite.com/patron, where Chappelle will join me to co-host the show. Our friend Josh Wingler will join me to talk about his thoughts on Celebrity Big Brother, a.k.a. Wig Brother, and my wife, Nicole Sestria, will join us to share some of her anecdotes from meeting different members of the Celebrity Big Brother 3 cast later on today for that. Make sure you subscribe to Robin's podcast so you don't miss anything we're doing with Survivor, Amazing Race, Big Brother, Joe Millionaire, and beyond. That's all at robswebsite.com/subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next week. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.
Have you been injured in a car, motorcycle, or truck accident?
Nope, I haven't. Alright, what else am I doing? Alright, let's look at what we're supposed to be doing here.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? Rob says...
Finish that. Shit. Yeah, don't care. Alright. According to this, we only have like an hour and 15 minutes left, so that's something. So did you go back up? Oh, I see now. I didn't see that until just now. Okay.
Janino back here with another preview of one of the 3 tribes competing in Survivor 42. And today, what are we talking about? We're talking to you, Taku. Yes, we're going to try to shoehorn something to make it work. Yes, that's right. 6 new Survivor contestants. They recorded interviews with the man who is at the center of the Survivor preseason. Give it up for the great correspondent from Parade.com, Mike Bloom.
Yeah, I was about to come in and be like, let's Taku a look at Taku Tribe, but you beat me to the punch.
No,
it
was a race to the bottom.
Jump, and we are just plumbing the depths. Mariana Trench. The Mariano Trench has nothing on us at this point.
Hey, Mike, who are you talking about? Okay, let's get into everything, we did already one of these cast previews. We talked about the Ica tribe, and I think that was a lot of fun. We listened to 6 different recordings that Mike got from the Survivor 42 contestants while they were on location right before they went into the game. We will do the same for Jackson, Jonathan, Lindsay, Mariah, Marianne, and Omar here in this episode. They will be the members of the Taku tribe.
Yes, they are members of the Orange tribe, which of course is a bad harbinger, although I guess I'll quote Jeff Probst from the 41 premiere. Someone from the David tribe did win Survivor David versus Goliath,
yeah.
so maybe the curse has partially been broken. I'm not entirely sure, because my hot take, Rob, again, if I'm putting out general takes before we even get into everything, I think if there is one tribe to be the Luvu of the season, it might be Taku.
Mike,
at this point.
remind me, the Luvu of the season. It's been a minute since we had, so that's good. You think that they're going to dominate?
For the first half of the season, yes. As we know, Luvu did not go to a tribal council. Even when some of them tried to go to tribal council, it was not allowed to happen. I do know there's been some discourse about this in the Survivor fan community that, with no offense to the other 2 tribes, I do think the more we get into this, there is, not to say that everyone is like big, beefy hunks of meat on this tribe, but I would say that everyone is in like fairly good condition that I could very easily see this tribe dominate, especially compared to the other 2 that seem a bit more all over the place.
Yeah, sometimes you could take a look at people and you could see that, okay, they're going to be physically dominant, but maybe other times it's like that they just work together really well.
Yeah, that could be the case too. That, obviously Luvu, again going back to the example, had extremely physical people like a Danny, like a Sydney. But then you look at, Erica certainly was no slouch in individual immunity challenges, but I think she was somebody who was someone on the smaller side physically. Heather, one of the older people in the game. But you never know who ends up coming out in those challenges. So who knows? Taku might end up being the one on paper to really dominate and
He's here too.
completely fall apart this season.
All right, well, we will find out when the season kicks off March 9th.
Okay, am I just supposed to go down again then?
We'll have a 2-hour premiere of Survivor, so it is creeping up, a couple of weeks away. We want to make sure you subscribe to Rob's podcast, robswebsite.com/subscribe, of course.
Barely got that.
The 3rd part of this series, when Mike Bloom and I will be previewing the 3rd trial. What is it? Vati. And
I should also, I don't know if this is a correction or not. Justin Feinberg did respond to the first podcast we did and did note that there was another tribe in Fiji in Survivor Millennials versus Gen X that spelled their name IKI. And we, of course, Big Brother Canada fans are like, oh, the Ica tribe, this is incredible. Insert Ica Wong reference here. He did point out that tribe was called Ika Bula, so it might have...
So what now? Oh, is this what this is now for? Oh, I think I got it then. Yeah, so now we... There we go.
Actually be the Ika tribe instead of the Ica
That is
tribe.
good.
Our heart breaks as reality TV fans, but when it comes to harkening back to the culture of Fiji in which they're playing, absolutely understandable. It's just the crossover that we wanted to happen is not happening.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a little bit of a down note to
This
start
is
the
cool.
podcast on, but we will move on. Let's talk about the first person alphabetically in this tribe, and that would be Jackson Fox.
Yes, so fun fact, this is actually, and secretly came back as Russell's nephew. This is, I believe, the uncle of both Tasha Fox and Eddie Fox is returning to bring it home for the Foxes this time. What does the Fox say? We will soon find out.
Yes, okay. The third Survivor Fox.
Oh, I thought I could make that jump. Okay.
Fox family tree.
Guess not.
Yeah, but unfortunately not on the Fox network. It's a CBS show.
Right. Okay. So, Mike, we know Jackson is 48, that he's a healthcare worker from Houston, originally from Pasadena, Texas. I didn't even know about Pasadena, Texas.
Yeah, this is this weird thing, right, where there are famous city names in other states, like Miami, Ohio,
Like
as an
Paris,
example.
Texas.
Paris, Texas. And Texas is maybe the one that just, like,
It's
switched
very
over
big,
into
Mike.
different city names. Yeah, we ran out of
Oh,
names.
we're supposed to
let's
jump?
go with New York City, Texas. I'm sure that'll work. But, yeah, I mean, Jackson is...
Can I make
has
that
a very
jump?
unique origin story for getting into Survivor, as we are talking
I
about.
guess
In
so.
terms of
Well, I mean, I
healthcare
guess
workers,
they
it's a little bit of a
force you
generic
to
title.
be able
In
to
my
make that
interview,
jump,
he
but
goes
still.
into more specifics that he is a hospital transporter. Still not completely sure what that means, if that means like an EMT or if that means, but in terms
Works
of
with
like,
Scotty.
yeah, that could be it as well. You put them in the bump in the
Engineering. Yeah.
Exactly. So, you know, I don't know if he's exactly a doctor, as you might think of when you hear of healthcare workers, but he's certainly been on the front lines. He certainly gets into that as well. And as a quick primer for those who, for some reason, may have just happened into the Taku Tribe preview first before we did this.
If you're just joining us, yes.
Exactly. We're Jet Pro saying we got some pizza from Stu that we'll have Stu to talk about later on here with one of these contestants. So these are audio interviews that I did with the contestants.
Oh, fuck.
I spliced in like my
Wow.
own questions that were asked by producers, but we're also referring to some more, I guess, extracurricular material outside of that, which includes my own interviews that I did with the contestants. At which point, I believe this is coming out Wednesday, all of which, with the Taku members, should be up at parade.com. And you're listening to this, we'll also pull from their bios, as well as
I
from
forgot
the
when
one
Marques's
day
video
and
came out.
videos that CBS has launched as well. So this will hopefully be a nice roundup of everything
Okay,
you need
yeah,
to know
performing as I
about these
expected.
contestants.
Okay. All right. So why don't we kick things off with Jackson? Now, we are going to do our best to show restraint and not cut in a million times. But sometimes we have something that we have to say in the moment that we feel like is relevant. Or hilarious.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like, nobody came back to us last time saying too many butterflies, so, like, fingers crossed here. I guess if we're going along with the 41 beware phrases, is broccoli next, then?
I like what you said about broccoli, Mike.
Exactly. There we go. Xander, he's the one who started listening during the Taku Tribe because he knew that the broccoli one would be coming first.
What am I doing?
Yeah. Okay. So.
Oh, there.
I think you really undersold the broccoli.
Alright, I think this is a good spot then. 1, 2, next up 16.
Here we go.
Oh, thanks for watching.
Let's hear from